Okay, I guess that's just gonna have to work. Hey everybody, how you doing? Apologies. I was going to have Usopp and Nami up here as the pop figurines, obviously, because Usopp and Nami play a very pivotal role in this chapter, but I can't seem to find Nami's pop figure anywhere, so, it's usually Zoro that goes missing, but until I find Nami, I had to find a replacement, so, I think very clear there's only one other option on the table, and that is, Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach, because they have similar hair colors, so there you go. There's Ichigo and Usopp, the combo you never thought you were going to see, but the combo that would be pretty cool. Ichigo's Bankai combined with the Pop Greens, I mean, that's absolutely devastating. Aizen wouldn't know what hit him. Alright, this will be One Piece, chapter 1016, titled, This is Otama! That's right, Otama's time to shine. Let's see what happens. Oh, the cover page is Zoro being a ninja, so, I mean, that's cool, I guess. He's, like, above a ceiling, and then, like, there's a cat with him who's also a ninja, because anime, you know. I think there's actually quite a few cats that have been ninjas throughout anime's history, including the ninja cats from Naruto, but whatever. Yeah, Zoro's a ninja, it's cool. Alright, so, the chapter starts off actually in mainland Wano, where the Fire Festival is still, you know, going on in full swing. It's the middle of the night at this point. I imagine everybody's really drunk. I mean, it's a real party, and it should be, because this is literally the only day a year where the people of Wano are, like, allowed to have fun. They can go into the flower capital regardless of where they're from, if they're from a leftover town or whatever. They can come to the flower capital, and they can light the giant bonfires and the lanterns to honor the dead, okay? And this was, like, the one tradition that Orochi kept around, probably because, for number one, Kaido really likes drinking, so, you know, the Fire Festival was probably going on before Kaido arrived, and he's like, well, we gotta keep doing that, obviously. And also, it's probably best from Orochi's interest to, like, alright, I guess I'll give them one day out of the year where they can have fun. But after that, the other 364 days, they're gonna be working hard in my factories, right? So, we actually have a scene with Tenguyama Hitetsu and Otoko, who was the adoptive daughter of Yasuie, although she never knew that she was the adoptive daughter of Yasuie. Anyway, they're walking in the flower capital, and this is really cool. I really want to see more with Tenguyama, because he's the descendant of Kitetsu, and he has the Nidai Kitetsu. He designed and made the Sandai Kitetsu that Zoro is wielding right now, which, hold on, gotta move these swords over here. Yeah, let me make sure those don't fall down. Yeah, right here, Sandai Kitetsu in all of its glory, sealed with silly putty because the guard was falling off, right, of course. So, I want to see more from him. Also, we have Ame no Habakiri here, which was his masterpiece. The Enmo was crafted by Kozaburo Shimosuke, but Ame no Habakiri was the masterpiece of Tenguyama. So, he has that sword in his possession right now because Momo felt like he wasn't deserving of it. So, this might actually circle back in some way if Momo and Shinobu make it to mainland Wano, if they survive their fall, whether through Shinobu's ability or Momo, you know, can fly. They meet up with Tenguyama, and maybe Momo's like, you know what, Tenguyama, I'm ready for this sword now. I'm ready for my father's blade, Ame no Habakiri. And Tenguyama's like, yes! And he tosses it. Momo picks it up and slices off Orochi's head or something, right? We can dream, okay? So anyway, they're just basically walking through the flower capital, and Otoko is marveling at everything, like, oh my god, it's so pretty, this festival, look at all the bonfires and everything. And Tenguyama explains, is like, yes, well, the fires have to be magnificent and huge because they, you know, reach up to the heavens themselves. You know, the deceased, the spirits of the departed look down and they see all of these fires, and it's sort of like sending the goodwill and messages of all the people still living to the departed, you know, like the festival of the dead. This is actually really interesting because, you know, everybody goes off to war, like all the samurai left, the 9 red scabbards, they were gone, the straw hats and everybody, they all left. So you imagine it was probably just like Otoko and Tenguyama left in Amagasa village, and they were like hanging out there, and Otoko's like, you know, like, can we go do something? And Tenguyama's like, want to go to the festival? I'm like, yeah. It's like, all right, let's go to the festival. You know, considering she just saw her dad get shot and killed, you know, Tenguyama's like, all right, yeah, let's go to the festival. Come on, you'd have some sort of happiness in your life, right? So, they're there, and Otoko looks up, and she's like, oh, do you think my dad is looking down on us? You think it's gonna reach him? And Tenguyama looks up, he's like, well, the sky is very clear. That's a very important note that Tenguyama makes to mention. He's just like, the sky is very, very clear, so I'm sure he can look down and have a perfect view of all of us, and he's like smiling down at you, Otoko. And Otoko's like, yay! And Tenguyama's like, ha, ha, ha. They are completely oblivious to what is about to transpire here, right? They're all hanging out. Like I said, a lot of people are probably drunk, they're eating, they're having a good time, and then all of a sudden, you can actually hear the menacing sound effect, like in JoJo's. Actually, Oda does use the menacing sound effect with the katakana in the distance, as like it's traveling over mainland Wano, Muffin Mountain, Onigashima in all of its glory, menacing. Ooh. And just like Otoko looks up, like, Dad, I'm gonna make you proud. Why is there a giant muffin skull in the sky, Tenguyama? It's like, what? What do you mean? Just, oh shit. You know, that's, yeah, well, that hasn't happened yet, but probably pretty soon. So now we come back over to Onigashima proper, where we see the Cypher Pool, Aegis Zero, in their indestructible visitors reception area, where it's like overlooking the live stage, so they have a perfect view of what's all going down beneath them. But this one particular area of the tower has not been damaged, nor has any of the enemies made it in there, like, you know, the samurai or otherwise. So I don't know, you know, maybe there are like more members of CP0 outside of the room, like protecting it to make sure, like, if any of the samurai get close to the room, they just like Shigan and like knock them to the ground or whatever. So they seem pretty chill. Now, last time we saw them, that was chapter 1003, where they were doing the Go board. Okay, so they had the Go board in front of them, and they had the two different, you know, pieces. The black pieces representing the Beast Pirates and Kaido's forces combined with Orochi's forces. Because remember how this started was the Beast Pirates made up 20,000 strong, and Orochi's band made up 10,000 strong. And then Orochi died, and then all of the 10,000 got absorbed into Kaido. So Kaido has effectively 30,000 men and women working for him right now as like waiters, pleasures, gifters, headliners, plus all the samurai and all the ninja, like the Oniwabanshu and all that kind of stuff, right? The only people that know that Orochi is still alive are Fuku Rokuju and the 9 Red Scabbards, who sliced him down, and they didn't even know he died the first time, right? So the rest of the Oniwabanshu or the Mimawari Gumi, they don't seem to be aware that Orochi's still alive, so he really probably doesn't have a lot of control in this situation. Even if Orochi did reveal himself, like, I am still alive! I am Lord Orochi! You will listen to me! I don't think the samurai would be like, oh, thank God, Lord Orochi, he still stands! That is the most epic morale boost all of us could have ever wanted! I highly doubt that's going to yield a result. You know, it's like, he was the most magnificent man ever, he was taken from us way too early, he still stands in all of his Orochi greatness, we shall fight for the last for you, our sire, you know. So that's Kaido's men, 30,000 strong, and then of course we had 5,400 of the samurai, and that includes, you know, all of, you know, Luffy's crew, Law's crew, Kid's crew, plus all the samurai gathered together by Kyoshiro, all of the Yakuza gathering their members together, okay? Last time we checked in on this Go board, the number, I believe, was 27 black pieces, representing 27,000 of Kaido's men, to only 5 white pieces, or the 5,000 of the samurai, okay? And since then, 5,000 additional soldiers have fallen from each side. So 3,000 have fallen from Kaido, so bringing 27 down to 24, and 2,000 have fallen from the samurai side, bringing 5,000 down to 3,000. Did I actually get those numbers right? I was reading the chapter and I'm like, oh god, there's a lot of numbers in this one. I might have to use subtraction. I'm gonna mess this up. This is gonna be like 17 takes. One take! One take! Alright? But anyway, that's not even the real number, 24 versus 3, because as the CP0 mentioned, a lot of the waiters and pleasures on the live floor have rebelled against Queen, because, you know, he infected them all with a life-altering Oni virus that would end up slaughtering themselves along with all of their friends and family. So that's not good. That's a good way to get you to really, like, rebel against the status quo, you know what I mean? So they mentioned that there is, right now, about about 4,000 of these waiters and pleasures on the live stage that have effectively switched sides. So we originally went from 27 versus 5 to now 20 versus 7 somehow. Because it's not like these men were defeated, they switched over. So now, like, originally the CP0 were looking at the board and they're like, oh, there's no way they could win. You know, 27 versus 5. I mean, yeah, the samurai might be pretty strong, but, you know, this is a war of attrition. Eventually they're going to get worn down. And they also mentioned that even though the announcement was made that Luffy died, they still are not surrendering. Not a single person on the rebellion side has surrendered over to Kaido, as Bao Huang said. You know, Bao Huang was like, you know, if you give up now, Kaido-sama will, you know, grant mercy upon you. Not a single person has surrendered because of Momo's message last time that he said, oh no, Luffy's still alive and he will defeat Kaido. So I guess everybody took that to heart at that moment. So now because of that, the CP0 are kind of like, it could kind of go either way, especially if more of the Beast Pirates switch over to this side. You know, this is a thing in One Piece. It gets brought up every now and then whenever we have these large-scale battles, like the big epic war at Alubarna and everything, but, like, Oda is really focusing on the morale of the troops, because that would play a pivotal role when you're talking about, like, ancient battles, right? You know, it's like, oh, if your commanding officer is defeated, that would bring down the morale, and the soldiers would be more, you know, liable to, like, give up or maybe surrender over to the other side. I mean, like, that really screws with stuff. So Oda's really focusing on that right now. So yeah, the numbers, the Beast Pirates are still, like, over double what the Samurai have. The Samurai have about 7,000 and the Beast Pirates have about 20,000. So that's actually almost 3 times. I know multiplication tables. I went to 3rd grade. So, yeah, so that's almost 3 times the size, but the samurai are definitely more powerful overall. Like, if you take the average samurai of Wano compared to the average waiter or pleasure on Kaido's crew, which the waiters and pleasures probably have the same amount of power, it's just that the pleasures are really hopped up on the smiles. Like, ha ha ha! That's the only real difference. So if you compare those average numbers, the samurai would probably, you know, win out most of the time. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see the CP0 there again. They're pretty much just the referees, like, just keeping track of the score, really. They're gonna play a pivotal role here eventually, but that's probably not going to be until the very end. I'm actually interested in seeing what they're going to do. If it's looking like the Beast Pirates are going to lose, like if this number gets to the point where it's like, all right, now it's like there's more of the rebellion than there are of the Beast Pirates, what would the CP do? Would they just leave? Would they be like, all right, time to pack up our go boards and our creepy masks and just get out of town? Or would it be like, all right, it's time for us to step in and actually, you know, back aside? I'm not sure what would happen in that particular instance, and they still don't know. They're under the assumption that Orochi is dead too. They don't know he's still alive. So I don't know if Orochi would like arrive at the CP's like, you know, little room and be like, I am Lord Orochi, CP0, you must get me out of here. You know, I don't know how that would go. I don't think they would care very much for Orochi, considering he shot one of them in the face when, you know, they wouldn't listen to his crazy demands of giving him Dr. Vegapunk. So I don't think the CP0 would help out Orochi, and I think Orochi is just on a warpath if he is still alive, which I'm assuming he is. He was cut down by the scabbards, but you lose 1 head, you lose 7. I mean, you're kind of, we don't know what's up with him, but if he's gonna still be alive, it wouldn't really shock me. He's kind of just in the process of burning down the castle from what I saw last time. Anyway, so now we're cutting back over, I'm assuming, to the location where Shinobu and Momo fell off the side of Onigashima, where Shinobu used her mature fruit to like destroy the ground and they fell off. The frog that Momonosuke was holding that was relaying the message to everybody is still there, and it's looking down like, ribbit, and that's relaying the visual information over to Bao Huang, who's like, oh, I just saw Momonosuke fall to his death from freaking, you know, the side of Onigashima. That's perfect. I'm gonna go relay this information to everybody. That'll really down all of their spirits, right? Now, something very interesting, it does not seem like Bao Huang has the ability to immediately, well, she does and she doesn't. You know, she doesn't, like, immediately just turn on her loudspeaker and announce to everybody that Momo fell. She goes over to, like, she says, let's go over and, like, announce it. So she has to walk over to the balcony in front of the live stage to announce to the entire hall that Momo has fallen. So it's sort of like a loudspeaker feature, but she has to be standing at a certain location. She can't just be like, oh, Momo fell down. Click. Everybody, Momo fell down. He's dead. Yeah, that's great. No, she has to, like, and she did it last chapter, too, where she was actually standing on the balcony and, like, announcing to everybody. So, maybe there's a reason for that. I'm not really sure. We don't even know if, like, Bao Huang, well, no, it was stated that she has the flying squirrel smile, so I guess she's not a robot, but the Marys are kind of like clockwork robots. Are the other humans that have the tags on their faces, are they robots or clockwork creatures? Are they actual humans or smile users? I have no idea. But at any rate, in the exact same location where Bao Huang is, we cut over to Usopp and Ichigo. I mean, Usopp and Nami, of course, right? So, they're running through the hallway, right? And, they're responding to the fact that Clima-tact is now speaking to them. Usopp, in all of his greatness, decides, I must have been so great at redesigning the Clima-tact, I've given sentience to my own work! It is truly a masterpiece. So, I'll give it to Usopp. I mean, hey, he's the one that built the thing, right? I mean, I know Nami got the sorcery Clima-tact from Witheria, but he was the one that figured out how to compress all that down into the Clima-tact she's using right now. I mean, he was tinkering with that for a while at Zoe. So he's just like, oh, I guess the magic from Witheria must have mixed with my genius, and then boom, I've created a sentient Clima-tact. I am pretty awesome. But no, it's nothing like that. It's actually still Zeus, or maybe the artist formerly, the storm cloud formerly known as Zeus. And how this exactly went down was right before Hera was about to chomp down on Zeus's soul, the soul left the thundercloud body, and then at that exact same moment, that's when Nami took out her Clima-tact and extended the black balls over to Zeus as like a parting gift, but Hera bit down on the Clima-tact at that exact same moment. So, here's Hera. Here's Zeus. Zeus's soul is like, no! Getting dragged out of him as Hera's absorbing his essence. And then the Clima-tact goes, into Hera's mouth. And then instead of, I guess, well, Hera did absorb some of the power, but I think the soul of Zeus got sucked into the Clima-tact at that one moment. Boom! The Clima-tact is effectively a homie now. Is effectively Zeus, or the artist formerly known as Zeus, in Clima-tact form. And so, Nami's like, I don't want a talking weapon. Nami, once again, I gotta say, this would be awesome. I said this last time, like, is the Clima-tact just gonna talk the entire, like, for the rest of the series? And I'm like, I hope it does. That would be great. And it's actually very applicable, as we see in this chapter, that the stuff that this opens the door for Nami and Zeus is incredible. So I hope it stays like this. I guess Oda could always tweak it a touch, but I would be okay if the rest of this series, like, this was Nami's power-up. We already knew that Zeus was kind of going to be Nami's power-up for the rest of the story, but in this way, it's not even just, using Zeus like she previously did, like, having him just live in the Clima-tact and using his power to, like, summon electricity. This goes beyond, where the shape and form of the Clima-tact can change to suit Nami's needs in battle, okay? And we're gonna see this in a moment, okay? So that's the reason why Zeus exists, and, Nami and him are kind of having a chat for a little bit there, where, it's like, I don't want a talking weapon, and Zeus is like, oh crap, that's right, you still haven't forgiven me. Can I go with the cyborg guy? He doesn't actually say that, but you imagine if it's like, well, I can't go back to Big Mom, and if Nami doesn't want me, give me over to the cyborg dude. He seems like he'd be okay with a talking weapon. Maybe Usopp could use it, right? That's actually kind of a bit of a question. Usopp is the one that designed the Clima-tact. Would he be able to use the Clima-tact? Not as effective as Nami, because part of this is having the weather knowledge and everything like that, but he's still, like, the engineer that built the thing, or at least how it's housed, so he should be able at least to know, at a basic level, how to use the thing if it was ever, like, required of him. But anyway, so what happens next is actually very funny, okay? It's a little bit of a routine, like a comedy routine from, like, Scooby-Doo or something, okay? So Nami, Usopp, and the artist formerly known as Zeus are running down the hallway, right where Bao Huang is. Next to Bao Huang is, I can only describe him as BoJack Horseman, okay? He is a smile user that had a horse smile, and he has a horse head, but it's BoJack Horseman, okay? So, Nami, Usopp, and the artist formerly known as Zeus run into BoJack Horseman and Bao Huang, and then the horse guy is like, Bao Huang, behind you! And, pulling her attention over to Usopp and Nami, and then at the same time that happens, as Bao Huang turns around, Tama, who is still, Usopp is still carrying her from her injuries from Ulti, Tama wakes up and is like, Usopp, behind you! And then Usopp's like, what? And then it's Ulti. So it's like, you know, Bao Huang behind you, huh? And then Tama's like, Usopp, behind you! What? And then Ulti just, BAM! Pachycephalosaurus headbutt right to the ground, so Usopp gets laid out, just, oh, why does this keep happening to me? You know, why is it always I get hit by the Pachycephalosaur witch? Why? And so, Ulti's still standing. Now, before we continue any more with this, I have to throw out the freaking fact here that this is not just Ulti getting back up after, like, a really strong hit. Big Mom, one of the Yonko, one of the absolute definitive strongest pirates in the entire world. You can say whatever you want, like, you know, Shanks is stronger than Big Mom, or Rayleigh could, you know, defeat Big Mom, or whatever. But she's a Yonko, alright? She's got, you know, status. She is one of the strongest pirates in the world for a reason, okay? She uses what could arguably be considered her strongest move, or one of her strongest moves, combining her three homies together to create a concentrated blast laser cannon that shot right through Ulti's stomach, and she's still standing. Now, she's reeling, and they say, like, you know, one more good solid hit, like, that'll bring her down, but, like, she was able to stand up after that. And even Usopp says, like, man, are the ancient zones, they really bring the power. The only way I can imagine this is the ancient zones, kind of like Wolverine, have like a really, really high spec, like a restorative, like healing factor. Like, that's the best thing I can get. She's still really injured and she was knocked out. Maybe the healing factor was enough so she could at least get up and walk around. I also don't think the damage she did to Usopp was quite as bad as the first time when she, like, you know, cracked his skull wide open. You know, he's still conscious, he's on the ground, but he doesn't seem to be, like, completely, like, devastated like last time. So, Ulti's there, and then after she strikes Usopp, Nami reflexively takes her Clima-tact to attack her like a staff weapon. However, Zeus changes the form of the Clima-tact to like a spiked club, kind of like a Kanabo, and not dissimilar to Kaido's Kanabo, honestly. And so she whips that around and smacks Ulti right in the side of the head, and so she gets knocked back, and Nami's like, what? And Usopp, the artist formerly known as Zeus, is like, hey, I can do this, right? I can switch around, I can change forms and stuff. And she's like, oh, that's awesome, okay. And then, you know, he's the one that explains, hey, look, Ulti, yeah, she might still be standing, but that attack that Mama did on her has definitely damaged her insides, okay. So I'm thinking one really good, well-placed lightning bolt would be enough to bring her down. And so Nami's like, okay, but I can't do that because Tama's there. Also Usopp, I guess, but Tama's there too. I can't, oh yeah, Ulti's holding Tama. That's another big point here. Ulti finally figured out that it was Otama that was the one that was using her power to get all of the beast pirates on their side. She doesn't exactly know how she's doing it, but she understands, like, it's this kid. This kid is the one that's, you know, forcing all of our subordinates to turn against us, and she's the one that made freaking Big Mom fire a laser cannon at me. I gotta get rid of her, right? So she picks up Otama, and then at that moment, Usopp, still, like, barely conscious, fires off a pop green. It's the Sargasso, like the seaweed one that he used against, not against anybody, but he used it when they were sailing down below the ocean depths to get to Fishman Island, and they were about to bash against a rock, and that was like created all that seaweed that kind of formed a cushion that blocked them from getting hit, right? So he uses that, and he's just like, freaking Pachycephalo, pop green, Sargasso, do your stuff. Hits Ulti, doesn't do any damage, but creates all this seaweed that knocks Otama out of the way. So now it's just Ulti, and that's when Nami brings down the lightning. And so then Nami summons Zeus out of the Clima-tact. He appears as like his normal thundercloud form, and then there's like, okay, here we go, the final lightning attack. Bring it down, Zeus. And Zeus is like, Nami, that's not really my name anymore. I've been reborn as a whole new homie in the Clima-tact, so you get to rename me as something different. You know, I don't want to be Zeus anymore. And Nami, granted, doesn't have a lot of time to really think of a name because this is like right in the middle of the attack. So she's just like, Wata! not water, wata, like W-A-T-A. So in Japanese, wata just means cotton. Watame can mean like cotton candy. I think watabokori can mean like fluff or like dust lint or whatever. So he basically calling Zeus like, you know, lint or dryer lint or whatever, or like fluff. And so Zeus doesn't even acknowledge the name. He's just like, Nami, you can give me a new name. Wata! I am the mighty Zeus, the god of thunder, the ruler of gods, the right arm of Nami. I will bring down the electric pain upon you, Ulti. Boom! So that was pretty funny. It's so funny that, like, Zeus does not even acknowledge it. He doesn't even, like, make a face. That actually would have been the perfect time for Oda to draw Zeus with the face. That would have worked to see Zeus making that face. But no, he's just like, my new name is Fluff, or Dryer Lint. It's like, okay, I am the mighty Zeus. I'm like, all right, Zeus. Granted, he wanted a new name, but he's not subservient to Big Mom anymore. He wants a new name, but he's like, come on, Nami. Like, Zeus is literally the father of the Olympian gods. You can give me another one, but have it be something like Thor or something. Like, I know Luffy already did the Thor elephant gun, but you can cross over. That's fine. It's something that cool, or like Raiga or something. But no, okay, I'm just gonna stick with Zeus. That's fine. Also, Zeus does bring up here that I cannot leave this body unless Big Mom uses her powers on me again. So he's stuck in the Clima-tact unless they figure out some way for Big Mom to be on their side, which is not insanity for Big Mom, because she has done that before when she lost her memory. But no, I'm hoping Zeus is going to stay in the Clima-tact for the foreseeable future. So he brings down the electric pain on Ulti, but Ulti just dodges it, and she's like, it's over, huh? You thought you could hit me with a lightning strike? Pfft. What does that move at? Like 3,000, you know, miles per second or whatever? I could dodge that shit easy. And so she's about to attack Nami, and she's like, oh no, it's all over, we lost. And at that point, that's when the lightning bolt curve shot, boom, and then strikes Ulti. And so Zeus is like, it's my job to make sure the lightning bolt strikes no matter what. So it's basically a homing missile attack that Nami has unlocked with her Clima-tact. So Ulti finally gets defeated by Nami, so I'm happy with that. It's unfortunate we didn't really get like a huge battle. It was kind of like, you know, Nami lost the first time and the second time, and then the third time was just kind of like, phew! Got her, you know, and it's Big Mom that probably pulled like 90% of the damage on Ulti to really bring her down, but still, it was Nami that finished off Ulti. So at the same time that happened, Bao Huang was still there and BoJack Horseman like watching everything, and so Bao Huang is like, oh no, 2 of the members of the Tobiropo have died, and like, not died, but like have been defeated, and BoJack is in the background like, excuse me, Bao Huang, everybody can hear you. Oh my god, this is horrible! Can you believe this, BoJack Horseman? 2 of the Tobiropo have fallen. This is really bad. The Straw Hats are super powerful. Yes, of course, Miss Bao Huang, but people can hear you. Oh my god. And plus Drake freaking defected, so that means they're effectively down by half. This is insane. Maybe the Straw Hats might actually be able to defeat us. Everybody can hear you. Like, this has been Bao Huang's emergency test, Mary broadcast system. What you previously heard, what you thought you heard, was of course just a test in case that the Straw Hats were able to somehow summon the powers of the divine Olympian gods themselves to strike down one of the Tobiropo, and if Big Mom were to happen to punch another one in the face, and if another one just so happened to defect from our powers. But of course none of that has happened, and we're all still winning the war, of course. So, you know, that was pretty funny. Usopp fires the Devil Boshi, the giant Venus flytrap monster, at Bao Huang, traps her so she can't move, and then it's like, okay, I don't exactly know how this works, but apparently she is the center intercom for all of this. So, Tama, speak into the mask on Bao Huang's face, and then your voice will carry throughout the entire hall, right? And so Tama goes up to Bao Huang and is like, yes, so, this is Otama! And then the voice rings out through the whole hall, and then all of the the smile users that have already eaten the dongos are like, oh, that's our master. What are your orders? I should clarify last chapter when one of the members of the Beast Pirates, one of the smile users, ate the dongo, he was like, oh, you guys are really powerful, but you can't hope to defeat Kaido. He actually ate the dongo, but he hadn't received orders from Otama yet, so he was still fighting like the default. So he acknowledged Otama as his master, but she hadn't given an order yet, because Speed was the one giving out all of the dongos, okay? And so it was sort of like he's still working for Kaido, but as soon as Otama gives him an order, that's when he'll change sides. So we actually cut away before we actually find out what Otama says to the gifters. I'm assuming it's probably going to be something very simple of just like, hey, you will all help out the Straw Hats, or you will all defeat Kaido together, or fight against all of the other members. Well, I guess she can't say that. I guess she can't say, well, she could if she was really brutal, like, freaking just destroy each other, like, and all the Speed, you know, like all the other smile users are like, okay, screw you, Daifugo, yeah, well, hey, take this, hold him, and they just all start brawling it out. I mean, I guess she could do that, but no, she's probably going to give the order of like, you know, you are all now working on the side of the 9 red scabbards, you will all fight to defeat the Beast Pirates. It's like, okay, you know, but we're Beast Pirates, so punch ourselves out? I don't know how this is going to go, but Otama's there, she's about to give an order, and we see Queen brawling a little bit there in the festival hall. We'll see where this goes. We do have another funny scene with the rest of like the waiters and the pleasures that are not working on the side of the rebellion. When they hear the message Bao Huang gives, they're like, oh crap, are we actually losing? Because Page 1 and Ulti are down, Drake defected, so we only have 3 of the Tobiropo left. Jack's not doing too good, I don't think. And we don't know really what's going on with everybody else, but are we losing? So, yeah, they're starting to get a little concerned here. So, we cut away from that scene. We now go to the last scene of the chapter where we're on top of the Skull Mountain. Kaido is back in his dragon fish duck form, looming over Yamato. Yamato's there looking pretty damn badass and just like, okay, Kaido, bring it on. You know, I'm gonna stand here until Luffy returns. And so Kaido's like, Woro, can't you just give up and just rule over as the Shogun of Wano like you were supposed to be, Yamato? You know, you have no hope of defeating me. And Yamato's essentially like, look, I know I have no chance of defeating you. I'm not here to defeat you. I'm here to buy time until Luffy returns, you know. Luffy is the one that Odin was waiting for, and I am the one that's going to wait here for Luffy. Okay, that's basically the premise there. And so then the chapter ends with a giant, tremendous clash of what I can assume is the Conqueror's Hockey Lightning firing off from on top of Onigashima, and Kaido's just like, I won't go easy on you, Yamato! Also, we see a scene where Kaido transforms into his hybrid form, from his dragon into his hybrid. So the clash is hybrid Kaido versus Yamato. Is like, I'm assuming their kanabos are like clashing in midair and just boom, a huge burst of conquerors. I'm assuming Yamato has conquerors as well. So that is an insane way to end the chapter, and unfortunately there is a break next week, but these next 2 weeks, they're going to be kind of on pins and needles, alright? This is going to get really good here. So yeah, I'm kind of the most interested in the order that Otama is going to give, because like I said, there are a few ways you could do this. I mean, she could order them all to just work on the side of the scabbards, that would help, or she could order them all to just knock each other out. Both of those would tremendously help, so yeah, we'll see exactly how she words it. Ulti, I'm guessing, is 100% down now. You know, it would, honestly, I think it would have maybe made more sense for Page 1 to come back, because, you know, Page 1 got a Conqueror's Punch from Big Mom square in the jaw. That's bad enough. But Ulti took this, like, ridiculously powerful, like, tri-laser, like a tri-beam or something. Like, you know, Kikoho, you know, took the tri-beam right through her freaking chest, and it's just like, and then she passed out. So, alright, I guess that means Ulti is definitely stronger than Page 1. I mean, I guess we assumed. I'm assuming Page 1 is the weakest of the Tobiropo, but yeah. I'm guessing she's down and out for the fight. What's gonna happen now with Nami and Usopp? Where are they gonna go? After Otama gives her message, I guess the goal would be to get her someplace safe, because she obviously cannot die, because if she does, like, the whole point of her fruit would just disappear. So after she gives the message, the next big thing for them is like, okay, Nami, Usopp, get Tama to safety, and then after that, I mean, they might have to just protect Tama the entire war, because you can't just, like, leave her somewhere and then go away, unless somebody else shows up to, like, I guess you could have the gifters do that, right? I guess she could, like, give a Dongo over to BoJack Horseman or one of the other members of the gifters and just be like, okay, make sure to protect me at all costs, and like, okay, we'll do that, and then Nami and Usopp can go off to other locations there. Komochio is still running around. We just haven't seen the dog in a while. So that's the situation there. You know, we had that opening scene at the Flower Capital, so I think that's just like the calm before the storm of like Onigashima appearing over that in the sky. And then we have the Cypher Pool moment, you know, where the Cypher Pool were going over the battlefield, and they have to do something at some point. I doubt they're just going to stay in that room the entire time, regardless of who wins and loses, right? At some point, they're going to have to get off their asses and like, okay, now we need to either leave or fight or something else. You know, something's going to have to happen with them. And as I said, I hope Zeus just stays in the Clima-tact form for the rest of the story, because that's pretty damn funny, right? You know, you could have like a little comedy routine with Zeus and Nami, like a back and forth. Like, that would be pretty cool, right? So there's options here for comedy, indeed, right? Anyway, we didn't get anything involving Luffy or Law or Kid, but that's okay. I honestly, considering we focused on Nami and Usopp this time, maybe next chapter we'll focus on some of the other fights with the Tobi Roppo, because Sasaki versus Frankie, and Who's Who versus Jinbei, and Robin versus Black Maria, Robin and Brooke versus Black Maria. Haven't really, seen what's happening with that. I mean, really, we have nothing with Jinbei and Who's Who. Like, the only thing we got with Jinbei and Who's Who was, like, Jinbei confronts him, and Who's Who's like, I know who you are. And then after that, it's just been, like, fisticuffs, you know, cutting back and forth. So I'd really like to honestly focus on that fight, because that's one's probably the least developed out of all of them going on right now. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. And, yeah, see you back here in 2 weeks. This will be Tekking, Usopp, Ichigo / Nami, and Barry signing out. See you, everyone.